To a small step towards fixing a big problem in Central Florida. We're talking about domestic violence.
In order to face the problem, investigator Erica Washington traveled across state lines to a city making big strides in cracking down.
This 3-year study shows that even with specialized domestic violence training for officers and 911 operators, nothing has moved the needle. 92% of domestic violence cases are dropped by the state attorney's office, and it's been like that for the last 10 years. We researched and found one of the top cities in the nation for handling intimate partner domestic violence cases is High Point, North Carolina. So we traveled there to see how they're getting results for their community.
Staring us in the face was intimate partner violence.
Captain Tim Ellenberger credits their success to their unique approach. High Point focuses on the offender.
So once we start paying attention to him and looking into his record and telling him exactly what his record shows and where he's exposed, then we're more likely to get a change in behavior.
For example, if an officer responds to a DV call or makes a DV arrest, within 48 hours, that offender gets a face-to-face visit with an officer and is put on a watch list.
Sometimes, that's enough. Sometimes it's not.
DV offenders who want to help come here.
I think the greatest part of this program is merely the exposure. They flee from the exposure.
Jim Sumi is director of High Point Community Against Violence.
We only work with the offenders. That's our job.
Sumi figures out what services a DV offender needs.
I want them to just get it out, because part of what we do initially is kind of a triage thing. I need to find out where they are so I know where to put them.
Whether it's drug rehab or counseling. Another big change that High Point has made is when it comes to prosecution, it is no longer the victim's responsibility. Shay Harger works with DV victims and says that's huge.
Her behavior doesn't drive the case anymore. And we're not banking all of this court and all of the success or failure of this case on what the victim does.
Victims in Orange County deserve results too. So I met with Orange County Mayor Teresa Jacobs.
I think one of the key things, and you pointed out, is taking the onus off of the victim and letting that be the state's responsibility.
Do you think those methods can be implemented here?
Yes, I think they can. I will tell you there's some stark differences.
One big one, take the size of High Point, a small city of 100,000, compared to Orange County, home to 1.2 million.
So is it more complicated? Absolutely. But complicated has never stood in the way of our region and our county taking on tough issues.
They have a reoffense rate of 19%. On average, most places are 60 to 65%.
I know, it's very encouraging. It is very encouraging, the results that they're having, and it's the reason that we absolutely have to look at this.
That is really encouraging. Erica Washington joins us now live from the newsroom. And Erica, Mayor Jacobs is making plans to travel to High Point, North Carolina?
That's right, Ginger. She tells me that she's actually going to pick some key people from the Domestic Violence Commission committee that she's on, travel to High Point, see how they're getting results for members of their community, and see if we can apply those same strategies and practices right here in Orange County. So pretty exciting stuff there, Ginger.
Especially if we're going to get the kind of results that they are seeing in High Point. Erica Washington, thank you for that.